everyone, and welcome to today's challenge. Okay, so my name is Tobilola and I'm a pattern maker. Now, I started this challenge. It's called the Bustia Pattern Making Challenge. I started it because I'm a pattern maker and I love to teach. I also started it because I saw that there are a lot of people here who are freehand designers and they want to learn how to use patterns. And then for some other people, they also want to improve their pattern making skills. So yes, this is the Bustia Pattern Making Challenge and it's 4 days. We're going to be learning how to make bustias. Are you excited? I am very excited. So let me just give you the breakdown of the timetable. So for day 1, which is today, I'm just going to take you through the basics of pattern making, tell you and explain the different terminologies that we have. We have pattern drafting, pattern cutting, bodice block, what are slopers, and all of that. Then I'm going to show you my tools. I'll show you the books that I use, the pattern making books and the tools that I use. And then I have an ebook that contains all of this, so if you download the ebook, you also have access to the sites where I legally download ebooks for free. I'm telling you, there's so many pattern making, fashion design, fashion illustration textbooks there, and you can download them legally. Okay, so let's just get started. So the way we're going to do this challenge, day 1, I'm going to teach you the basics. I'm going to show you my books, my text, my tools, and then day 2, I'm just going to use my bodice block and I'm going to introduce you to the bodice block. So the bodice block is what we use to make dresses and everything that fits a woman. And so I'm going to show you just tips on dart manipulation. So I'm going to show you how to change your darts from dart to princess seams. I'm going to also teach you dart manipulation. That's literally just changing the position of your darts to create edgy designs. So clothes that you see, workwear designs, casual designs, I'm going to teach you that. And then I'm also going to teach you princess seams. I said that, armhole and shoulder princess seams. So the 3rd day, I'm going to teach you contouring. So all of this, I'm going to write it down in the text. So 3rd day is going to be about contouring. So what is contouring? Contouring basically means that you are removing the excess ease in either your bodice block or your skirts. Yes, you can contour your skirts and your trousers. So you're removing the ease, but it's basically on bodice block. You're removing the ease so that it can fit your body. So the thing is, the basic block, the bodice has a lot of ease inside it. So it's a round neck, but if you want to change the round neck to like a bustier dress, if you just cut the design like that, you'll find that it's not going to fit you. So what you need to do is to contour, which means that you need to remove a certain amount of ease from the bodice block so that it can fit you and mold your body perfectly. So that's contouring. So I'm going to teach you that on the 3rd day, and I'm also going to teach you how to create your bustier pattern. Then on the 4th day, I'm going to make your own choice of bustier. So you can start voting you can send your pictures in the comment section, any bustier dress that you want me to pick. So we'll all pick one. You can send any amount, everybody, and then we'll vote for one design, and that's what we're going to do on the 3rd day. So I have so many interesting things to teach you, so just stay tuned. So let's start today's session. Okay, so what exactly is pattern drafting? So this is what pattern drafting is. A lot of people hear about pattern drafting, they confuse it with pattern cutting, and they don't know what it means. So let's just figure it out. Pattern drafting is literally a design process where you take measurements on a body or on a body form. Sorry, that's a mannequin, a dress form. So you take the measurements either on your body or your client's body or on a dress form, and then you put that measurement on paper. You add ease, and then you create a bodice block or a trouser block or a skirt block. So you're creating a paper pattern of that person's measurement on paper, literally. So that's pattern drafting. So what you're doing is actually creating the original pattern, which is called a master pattern. So either you are drafting a bodice block, or you're drafting a skirt block, or you're drafting a sleeve block, or you're drafting a trouser block. So that's literally the original patterns, right? Okay, let's move on to flat pattern cutting. What is flat pattern cutting? So flat pattern cutting is the design process in which you take that bodice block or any basic sloper that you have created and then you now change it to a design. So for example, you take the bodice block and you change it to, you design it in such a way that you create a bustier pattern, or a corset pattern, or a draped skirt, or a draped trouser. So that is literally the difference. The difference between drafting and cutting is that drafting is that you're creating the master patterns, while cutting means you are taking a copy of the master patterns and then you are using it to recreate you are recreating it into a new style. Okay, so what are the basic patterns? We have a sketch block, both the front and the back. So they are either called basic patterns or basic slopers or basic blocks. So you have the sketch block or the sketch sloper, that's number one. So both the front and the back. You have the sleeve block. You have the trouser block, both the front and the back, right? And then you have so you have skirts, you have the bodice, you have the trouser, and then you have the sleeve. So we have about 4. So it's both front and back. So those are the basic slopers. So we've talked about pattern drafting, we've talked about pattern cutting, flat pattern cutting. I've explained what basic slopers are to you. I said that they're your skirt blocks, trouser, sleeve, and bodice block. So the last one is a bodice. What is a bodice? Everybody keeps talking about bodice. What does it really mean? So bodice is literally a garment that a woman wears, and it starts from the shoulder and stops at the waist. So people ask, so if you have skirt block, trouser, bodice block, and sleeves, how do you now create dresses? So you can use a bodice block to create a dress. All you need to do is, remember we said that a bodice block starts at the shoulder and stops at the waist. All you need to do is just extend it. So people do 2 things. They draft a bodice block that has a hip, right? And they just extend it to the skirt length or whatever skirt length, and that's what a dress block. Or they put a skirt block and a bodice block together and it becomes a dress pattern. So really, you just have 4 basic patterns, which is what your skirt, your trouser, your sleeve, and your bodice blocker. So you can get any other thing. You can get a jumpsuit with a bodice block and a trouser. You can get a dress with a skirt and a bodice block. Okay, so we've explained all the terms. The next thing I'm going to explain, I'm just going to show you some of my pattern making books. So I don't know if you can see it, but this is Pattern Magic. I like it because it allows me to create very, very unique designs. Another pattern book I use is this. It's called Pattern Cutting Made Easy. It's by Jillian Holman. Yeah. Okay. Now another book I use, I have so many books. I've been learning pattern making since 2015, so I have so many books. So this is another book. It's called Pattern Making for Fashion Designers. So it contains junior, misses, and women's sizes. This book is really big because it contains draping and pattern making. So did I define draping? Draping is literally a design process where you put fabric on a dress form and then you create a design. So you can literally do everything that you do on paper on a dress form. There's some designs that you can't make except you drape it on a dress form. So yeah, so that's that book. So I have other books I use. These books I use every day. They are e-copies and I have it on my phone. It's called Pattern Making for Fashion Designers. I think it's by Ellen Armstrong. I love that book. It has everything. Swimwear, you know, everything, bustiers, everything, you know. So that's a copy. I would show you a copy of my ebook of the ebook. Now the thing is, if you don't have money to buy these books, you can go on legal sites to download them. So there are sites, I'm going to write them in the ebook, so please make sure you just download it in the comment section, either in the comment section or the text. There are legal sites for you to download. Don't go and download in illegal sites. So if you want to know the sites, it's in the ebook. So just make sure you download it so that you can have access to your own free ebook. Okay, so let me see if I've missed anything. Okay, so the next thing I just want to show you, which is the last thing, is my pattern making tools. Let me tell you, you need these tools if you want to draft any pattern. So the very first thing is your pattern paper. So this is called, I'm a Nigerian and I live in Lagos, so I buy this pattern in a place called Mushin. This is white paper, pattern paper. It's called bond paper. So if you want to buy it, it's called bond paper, and the dimensions are 24 inches by 36. So I'm just going to write everything in the ebook because I don't want this video to be long. So this pattern paper is white. Some people use brown. It's fine if you want to use brown. It's totally fine. But I use white because it makes me look professional. And so some people who don't know about pattern making would think that I'm an architect, and I kind of like that. I'm a fashion architect. So yes, I like white paper. So that's my tool number one. I have tool number two. They're called curve rulers or pattern master. So this is the original. This is the original pattern. So you can have more plan. This is isomers, right? So it's used for drawing your necklines. All those curvy areas, your necklines, your armhole, your hip curve, this is what you use. Your collars, you know, all those kind of designs, this is what you use. But I have the Chinese version because it's very cheap. You know, this I bought for about $1, $2 then, so it's very, very cheap. You know, so there are different varieties. I use this, I don't know if you can see it, but I use this to create my hip curve for skirts and for trousers, right? I also use this. So you can see the circles is for collars. Yeah, so there are 3 of them. So I've shown you my paper, I've shown you my curve ruler. Good, so let me tell you, for a pattern maker, you need to have a separate scissors. Don't let anybody use your pattern making scissors for something else, or else it will go blunt, you know. So separate your pattern making scissors from your sewing scissors. So this is it. This is my scissors. You need this, guys. This is a tracing wheel. It is so important. You need it to trace out. So what you can do is, if you have a master pattern, I trace out a copy or copies of my master pattern using a tracing wheel. Another thing that you can do is just cut it out and trace out using pencil, but I like to use this because it's faster. Okay, I use a tape rule too to take measurements and also to measure on my paper. Eraser is very important. I like white erasers because it doesn't leave marks on my pattern paper. So another thing is this. This is very important. You need this when you're flat drafting, it's called pattern cutting. So if you're pattern cutting, you need this, because when you're pattern cutting, it means that you're trying to make a new style from a basic bodice block. So sometimes if you need to add more length to your pattern, this is what you use. So this is sellotape. So you see, it has 2 different colors. You know, I don't like the yellow because it makes your pattern look some type of way. So I like to use the one that is white. You know, I've never really seen a white sellotape, but this is literally the lightest I've seen, and this is what I use. I buy them in very local stores. Okay, so the last one, there are so many tools, but these are just, you know, some of the tools that I'm going to be showing you. So the last one is my glue stick. I use it to join papers together, especially when I want to make trousers or skirts and they are very long. Pencil, you need a pencil for markings. So ladies and gentlemen, that's literally all I can take today. So that's literally all. And please, there are a lot of things that I would like to say more, but because I want this video to be very short, please just make sure that you download the ebook because everything is in it. So I'll see you in tomorrow, day 2. So make sure you select your own designs, right? So any bustier dress that you want me to teach live, just make sure you send it as a comment and we're going to vote. So the dress with the highest number of votes is what we're going to learn on day 4. Okay people, so today we've learned the basics of pattern making and I've shown you my tools and the books that I use. So if you want to know more about where to download the pattern making books for free, legal sites, just download the ebook in the text or in the comment section. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye everyone. See ya.